morning viewers. Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia, as we do our exercise for this morning. And we're going to talk about Mark 5, where they came to the other side of the sea to the country of the Gadarenes. And when they had come out of the boat, immediately there met the Lord out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. Now, the Bible's very clear that demons are real. In fact, it's not the only book that don't. G'day, mate. Good, buddy. How's yourself? It's away. Very clear that demons are real, and it had no trouble in recognizing where they were and who they were in. Now, welcome to Gosford, New South Wales, on the Central Coast, as we do our exercise for the morning. Now, this guy with the unclean spirit, he was hurting himself, he isolated himself, and he had a spirit of suicide on him, but the demons couldn't influence him enough to finish himself off, because he was living in the tombs. He was living in the graveyard. Graveyard, of course, is a place of death, isn't it? Where you I guess it's our destination for all of us, isn't it, if Christ doesn't return. We might be lucky today and see the J-dubs, I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. Good morning. So immediately as he got out of the boat, he had been dwelling among the tombs and no one could bind him. Now, the fact that no one could bind him does indicate, in a roundabout way, rebellion. And the beauty of that is, this man wasn't going to be influenced by anyone. There is a positive aspect to this. Too many of us are too easily misled in spiritual things. Now, they tried to bind him, they tried to shackle him up, but he wouldn't have it. In fact, he was so determined not to be controlled or held down, that some way supernaturally this man had the ability to break chains and shackles with which they bound him with. I'm just going to take you out on this today. I'll take you out to the end of this. This gives us a two-sided view of where I paddle and exercise. I've got a drone coming on Thursday. I'll be doing drone footage for you with commentary. There's some surf lifesavers practicing out there. Gee, we're lucky here. It's full of sharks, yet no one's been attacked. This is a view from the pier. I'll show you this when we go out on the SUP. This is more or less, this was the primary harbour. I'll turn around now. Good fishing here. I'm going to take you fishing as well. Look at that beautiful bird there. Just good morning to the birds. Look at him, what a beautiful bird. Unfortunately for the man living in the tombs at Gadara, and I don't want to be too spiritual with picturing things or anything, but many of us are in spiritual tombs. And you know you're in a spiritual tomb, and this is how you can examine yourself, and I can examine myself by thinking that there's something I need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad. That's one way of recognizing how deep in you've got yourself. Another way of recognizing that you are not positioned properly with Christ, in the sense that of what the Bible requires, which is simply to believe, just simply believe, is to not believe at all. And quite frankly, I don't blame the millions that don't. There's all different reasons for that. Not everybody's heard about Christ. There's also other world religions and interests. So a lot of people don't believe because on purpose. Some do, but the majority just don't believe because they don't believe. They either don't know, or they've got cultural beliefs and other things that are more important. Quite busy here this morning at 6:30 a.m. running a little bit late today. What a beautiful place, hey? Now, the point of what is going on here is, whether this man was religious or not, he's demonized. Somewhere or another, he hasn't had the ability to restrain his demons as well as most of us would. And this goes for people, unfortunate people, that aren't born with their natural ability to restrain their sinful nature. As that train pulls out there. So you'll find people that just can't help but be reckless or evil, or do harm and maim or steal and things, and they end up in the criminal system, being punished sociologically for their behaviour. But this man had isolated himself. He didn't want to conform to society or religion or anything for that matter. He just didn't have a natural ability to work in with the normalities of life. Now, this is the demonized state of affairs of those days. This also applied to the poor old lepers who were sent out of the city to valleys and places where the lepers would congregate and get on with their lives, isolated from people that weren't sick, because in those days they had no way of curing the disease. Gee, we take a lot for granted today. Oh my God, we take a lot for granted. I'll just come around this corner. The sophisticated medicines and things that we have today, we want to be thankful, my gosh. So the chains had been pulled apart by him, the shackles were broken in pieces, neither could anyone tame him. Now this sounds crazy, this sounds the opposite, but that's a good thing. This guy still had the ability to say, no, you're not going to take from me my ability to think. Right or wrong, he held on to his instinctive, natural, personal values, as it were, be it right or wrong. And so day and night he was in the mountains and the tombs, So he didn't just isolate himself to the tombs, and he was going from the tombs up into the mountains, which to me indicates he still had internal fortitude. He still had strength inside himself. It was just all out of whack. It was just being used in the wrong place. Now, see that building there, viewers? That beautiful, that's the tax office there, that building. I was one of the bricklayers that laid those bricks. They come from Italy, those bricks. Believe it or not, they were $4 each. $4 each. And they're not a full-size brick either. And yes, I helped with the brickwork on that job. They're a beautiful looking brick, and it's quite a spectacular building, isn't it, on the foreshore here at Gosford. So it's good to have skills, isn't it? Helps put food on the table. When people are going up and down into mountains, that's to me is an indication of the ability to get things done. Whilst demonized, he could still, even though it was probably unconstructive, he still had strength. He still had a means of being constructive, but it wasn't being used in the right way. I'll just cross here safely. Now, he was crying out and cutting himself with stones. Crying out too is something that we need. Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison, theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like, maybe even comment. If you watched it on Facebook, like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.